YouTube, what's going on? It's me, Brendan, and first and foremost, I want to say Happy Memorial Day. I hope you guys are enjoying your holiday weekend. I know that I am. It's been quite a while since I had 3 days off in a row. After making the previous video and seeing that, some people were asking questions about the importance of an internship and also, asking what steps did I take in order to land my entry-level role, I thought that I'd make a video talking about the importance of internships and how I personally benefited from it. So to start things off, if you haven't seen the other video, right now at this point in my career, I am a technical support specialist. I know in the previous video I said technical support technician. I forgot to fix that, but the point is, so right now I am at an entry-level help desk role. And that role is literally the beginning of my journey. And the crazy part about that is it's a very great spot, even though it is the beginning of everything for me. And I wanted to talk about how, I got an internship that ultimately led to me getting this role. All right, first thing we're going to talk about are the different teams that there are, starting from entry level and working your way up. Because right now, like I said, I am at an entry-level role, which is an help desk role. And there are multiple levels and, different areas of the business, that teams deal with and focus on primarily when it comes to, whatever the job entails. The easiest way to explain it is to talk about it as if it's level. So level 1, which would be a help desk role, which is my current position. But the team that I am on are the first point of contact when it comes to clients reaching out about having, technical issues or issues with their computers or having problems trying to do certain things like make phone calls or things like that. And with me being the first point of contact, I am the one that is supposed to, gather all the information, start very small and, resolve issues by asking them, well, have you restarted the machine? Or have you started force closing? Sorry, I got a text message. Or have you tried force closing applications, or whatever the case may be. And usually they haven't. And, my job is to troubleshoot that, getting all the information, trying, very basic troubleshooting methods. And if it gets too hard for me or, anyone that's on my team, we escalate it. And when we escalate it, we'll escalate it to level 2, which would be desktop support or desktop support technicians. It all depends. Each company has its different names for its different levels. But yeah, so level 2 would be desktop support. Desktop support is where I landed my internship. And that was a perfect spot, to have an internship because not only did it help me get hands-on when it came to a lot of things, it also taught me, how to dive deeper into certain issues dealing with certain programs so that when I, finally did get my job on the help desk at level 1, it was a lot easier to transition and, solving problems were a breeze. After level 2, that's where things get, kind of, confusing and maze-like. So after level 2, depending on what the problem is, it can go in almost any direction. So think of escalating from level 2 or, escalating any issues to a different team. Think of it as an intersection. And this intersection has 7 different avenues that you can go. All right. Depending on the problem, let's say it was, a team member is having an issue with them making calls or them not receiving calls. You escalate to the communications team or the telecom team, depending on the company that you're working for. Let's say that the team member is having an issue that is deep rooted into a specific program like Outlook or Skype or whatever the case may be, and it's beyond your control. It's taking you a long time to figure it out. You escalate that to the engineers. The engineers, when it comes to where I work, they're called the juggernauts. And you escalate a ticket to them if a situation was deep rooted and you're unable to figure out what it is. If there's an issue with access, something that's beyond your control, because being level 1, yeah, you have administrative access, but in a lot of situations, you wouldn't be able to perform some of the actions that an engineer might be able to perform, because of the least privilege rule. You're only given literally the access that you need in order to perform whatever your job entails. So yeah, in situations like that, you may have to escalate to the engineer so they could dig real deep in and figure out whatever issue this is. And when it comes to the engineers, there are like a million different engineers when it comes to enterprise companies, which is why I said that, once you get to level 3, that's where, everything kind of just splits off and you're in a maze. There are identity engineers, there are network engineers, there are system engineers, there are business support engineers. There's all kinds of avenues that you can go depending on the company and the type of programs you guys use and assist, team members with. But aside from all that, we're going to talk about internships and how important it is to take advantage of an internship if you were to nail one, and why you should be looking to land an internship, whether it's paid or not, so that you could prepare yourself forward when it comes to, actually getting your foot in the door when it comes to getting a job with any company. Like I said, out of those 3 layers, which is, Helpdesk, desktop, and the engineers, I got an internship at level 2, which was desktop. And when I managed to land this role, I had no experience whatsoever. I didn't have any experience. I didn't have any certifications yet. All I had was, I took the 901 exam. So I had half of the A+ exam in the bag when I initially got this internship. This internship was 6 months long, and it was with the desktop team. Okay, and one of the great things about having this internship, or one of the great things about internships period, is the fact that you are learning and you are allowed to screw up a little. And when I say that, I mean, there's that, feeling you have of, what if I don't do that well? Or what if I don't know as much as they think I know? Or whatever the case may be, which is something that I was definitely dealing with, considering that I didn't have any experience or certifications yet. So yeah, that imposter syndrome was definitely, in my blood and driving me crazy. But the one thing I started to learn, as the internship went on, is that, yeah, there was a lot that I didn't know, but there was a lot that they are willing to teach. And if they don't teach it to you, and you do have the chance to fiddle around with it, it's okay to screw it up. Well, not really. It's not that it's okay, but if you do manage to do something incorrectly, you being an intern and not being taught whatever it is that you are doing, let's say when it comes to something dealing with Active Directory, if you make a mistake and reset someone's password incorrectly, or if you make a mistake and move something to a different group that it's not supposed to be in, whatever the case may be, if you do mess it up, you will be coached and they will teach you the correct way to do things. And in my opinion, getting an internship was the best thing that could have happened for a person that was in my particular situation, because it gave me the exposure that I need in order to be ready, when things got serious. It put me in the role of someone who was already employed that was a desktop tech, because I was doing things that, they were doing, or, my mentors were doing. I was, reaching out to team members because of particular issues. I was taking tickets, because the way that it works is all of the issues that you are faced with and that, are brought to your attention using a ticketing system. What happens is a client will either put in a ticket or give you a call directly and, give details on whatever is going on, and that will turn into a ticket, and you watch that queue. And once you see that ticket, you take the ticket, check it out, and then you reach out to them in order to solve the issue. And so being on the desktop team, which is layer 2, I wasn't really getting calls like that directly. I didn't get any calls at all directly. I would have to pick tickets from a ticketing system and reach out to those team members individually. Now, after getting hired and, getting hired at the level 1 role, which is a help desk role, I currently am on a hotline. So I'll get calls constantly, attending to certain issues, solving the ones that I can and escalating the ones that I can't. But back to the internship. As an intern, and being on the desktop team, like I said before, desktop really take their time to dig into certain issues, and doing all that digging was fantastic. Of course, a lot of the issues were hardware related. Sometimes, a team member have a bad HDMI cable, a team member had a bad monitor, or, had a burn-in when it comes to their monitor, so their monitor would have to be replaced, or, all kinds of things. Or there's a particular issue with Outlook, and it took over 20 minutes for the help desk or level 1 to check out and look into, and so they shipped it over to us, and we would really dig in to see what could be causing that issue. And we would do all kinds of stuff like rebuilding mail profiles and all kinds of stuff. It was just really beneficial knowledge, and ways of troubleshooting things. It's just a fantastic amount of knowledge, and also an amount of confusion that led to me finding the answer to these kind of problems. Also, I was imaging machines like crazy. I'd image like 10 to 15 machines at a time. I also spent some time on the inventory team, the team that would ship equipment out to remote team members so that they could work remotely. It was just a lot of valuable information that I learned while on this internship. So anyone that is, really, taking that first step when it comes to, trying to break into the IT industry, or that first step on your own IT journey, no matter what direction it is, the value and benefits that you get from an internship are through the roof, and this is whether it's paid or unpaid. Fortunately for me, it was a paid internship, which is great, because having money while learning or making money while learning is always a bonus. But what was more important than the money was the exposure and the information, and just getting your hands dirty so that you know what to expect if you were to land a role, and so how to interview correctly when it comes to a different role or whatever the case may be. Because while I was doing this internship, towards the tail end, I ended up getting a job interview with a smaller company, and it was for a help desk role, and they were asking me all of the things that I knew. And this is still when I was in the process of getting the other certifications that I've got, and I was able to blow them out of the water because of all the exposure that I had during this internship. During this internship, I didn't have any other jobs. I wasn't working on the side at a computer shop. Everything that I've learned was from this internship, and I was able to convince them that I basically knew it all, or everything that there is to know about how to handle certain things and what kind of functions to perform in order to troubleshoot certain problems. So in my opinion, internships, and even if you were to go through a staffing company and get on a contract job, I would treat it the same as an internship, because it's not a permanent position. Soaking up all the knowledge that you can from an internship is the best thing that you can do in order to set yourself apart from a person that can't get a job with only internships on the resume, versus someone who convinces an employer to seal the deal and give them that first entry-level position so that they can prove themselves. Pause. One thing I gotta show you guys. Check out what came in the mail. Now, the CSUN certification finally came in the mail, and I'm not gonna lie, it got me really stoked and really excited, because now I get to see it face to face as opposed to looking at my test results. At the end of the day, if you do have the opportunity to intern at an enterprise company, or even at a company that's not so big, make sure you take that chance, okay? And you treat it as if though you are studying for a certification. You take all the notes that you need to take. You reach out to all the different avenues that you can, all the different departments when it comes to the IT department at that particular company, and you soak it all up, because all of that knowledge is going to help you land that first gig or that first role, it being either help desk, desktop, whatever the case may be. So yeah, if you like the content that I brought to you guys today, make sure you like and subscribe, or wherever it's at. I don't know, I'm new to this, but yeah, if you have any questions on anything related to what I am talking about, please make sure you leave a comment in the section below, or you can just reach out to me on LinkedIn or on Facebook, whichever you prefer. I don't mind. Other than that, enjoy your holiday weekend. I'll see you guys next time.